All right, my friends, we are now finishing up the Batman Beyond First Flight Batwoman event or saga, I guess you could say. This is Batman Beyond issue 41. And I love this variant cover. Seeing Terry here in the foreground with the Batgirl in the background. Just a nice little homage here with the bat symbol. Just beautiful cover overall. So let's dive into this. Now, spoilers if you haven't been following along. So if you haven't, make sure to pause this video, go check out the playlist, or go to your local comic shop and either get the singles or the collected trade if it's in that format. I'm not 100% sure. And then come back, and you're back. So last arc before this, Terry was victim to a villain called Falseface, who took his memories and basically lived as Terry and then died. So Terry has been wandering around aimlessly, not having his memories, kind of surviving on the streets. And so there's been a void, like a vacuum in Neo Gotham with no Batman. And out of that came a new Batman, or so we thought. It is Batwoman. Last issue, we finally, because Dan Jurgens took his time to reveal the identity. And so again, spoilers. We come to find out that the new Batwoman is none other than the daughter of Dick Grayson, Elainna, I think is how you pronounce her name, Elainna Grayson. Terry meets up with a character named Constance. We find out that Constance worked for Derek Powers once upon a time ago. Powers is looking for a way to transfer his conscience into a new body because he is decaying because of the radiation. So Constance finds out Derek's alive and is bringing him to this character. And now Terry says, I figured that getting a job while I have an amnesia would be impossible. Thanks to you, that changed, Constance. Gotta say, though, I'm curious about what is supposed to, like what I'm supposed to do. I believe Mr. Powers would like you to help him with a personal project, Cherry. Everything will be clear in the lab. Lab? Looks more like a super secure bank vault to me. So strong that even Superman couldn't break it. And I love the little homage. Now, I haven't read all of Batman Beyond from, because this is volume 6 at this point. I know Superman in this future, from the cartoon, he became kind of like dictatorship style, kind of like Injustice, and then he was brought back to who he was. I can't remember the whole arc, but has there been any comics where he's kind of crossed over with Terry? Because I 100% cannot remember. Let me know down in the comments. Anyway, Blight says, I appreciate that, young man. I have no doubt that your help will prove invaluable. It's an honor to work with someone as notable as yourself, Mr. Powers. What would you like me to do? I'd say that you can start by taking a nap. If McGinnis' body is going to be mine, I need him alive. I know what I'm doing, Derek. The idea of living on in the body of Warren McGinnis' son is marvelous irony. And then we cut to the family. This is First Flight Part 5. Dan Jurgens writing, Chen doing the pencils, Parsons doing the ink, Chris Sotomayor doing the colors, Travis Lanham doing the lettering, and Dustin Nguyen doing the cover. And then having enough coffee. The variant that we just saw, this beautiful piece, was done by Francis Manipul. Your daughter, Elainna, is missing. Of course. And I just love how Matt's like, duh, of course, we should have known. The truth was staring us right in the face, but we were too blind to see it. Now, as we've gone over this, I've been kind of teasing, saying we've seen this character before back when they kind of did the Beyond version of A Death in the Family where Matt gets captured by the Joker. And we were introduced to Elainna back then. And I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to build it up with you guys. The truth was staring us right in the face, but we were too blind to see it. Truth? What are you talking about, Matt? It's obvious, Mr. Grayson. Elainna is Batwoman. But I assumed I was coming out of that was you coming out of retirement, Barbara. Crazy talk. To be honest, I thought that as well. Melanie was our other suspect. I love how we get a close-up of Bruce's eyes. And one thing that I've been gushing about this run, when you look at the artwork, even though I'm sure it was done like on a Wacom tablet, look at how the shading looks like traditional comic book work. You can actually see all the cross-thatching and the lines of the ink And that's what I mean by some of these new comics, they look beautiful, but you could tell it's digital, and again, it kills that human hand. So you can actually see when they took this, probably scanned it in and went back over the pencils, or if it was done sketched on a Wacom, whatever, kind of like how McFarlane does in his tutorials, it still feels to a degree like an old school comic, and that's what excites me the most. So anyway, close up of Bruce. Elainna, though, she is aware of our secrets, knows everything about the cave and everything in it, including the fact that the suit adapts to fit anyone who wears it. It's her, all right, Dick. I get what you're saying, but why? And if so, and I love how it just cuts away, where on earth is she hiding? And so she's out in the middle of nowhere. Still don't understand why she'd do this, Bruce. From the time she was a child, we told her about my past so she would learn how to cope. We didn't want her to get obsessed by the idea of what I'd been. Now, another thing I'm going to ask you guys for help here, because right here Dick says, her mother hated the idea that Elainna might want to pursue my old ways. So we did everything possible to steer her away. So with that said, obviously she does not look alien, so this is not Corey. Obviously it's not Barbara. So does anyone know who her mother is? Because I have no idea. I mean, Coriander to me, always. I mean, a lot of people will say that he should have got with Barbara Gordon, which I agree. But if you go back and read Marv Wolfman's Teen Titan run, him and Corey just fit together perfectly. They had the great type of personalities together. And, I've seen other books where they've been married, like Kingdom Come, and I love it. So here, who is her mother? I have no idea, and I would love to know. So I love how Barbara looks at him. She says, the implied romanticism and glory of a father's heroic life would captivate any child, Dick. That's why we signed her off on entering the service. She could contribute while not having to fight supervillains and live outside of the law. That's one way of looking at it. Another way is that she might have intended something like this all along and used her service experience as the perfect training to become a superhero. Now, Terry wakes up. So we kind of get that dramatic moment to kind of take a breath after Terry just got cold cocked by Constance. He goes, hey, is this a joke? Constance, where are you? Let me out of here, please. What the hell are you trying to do to me? And I just love this hopeless look on Terry's face. Calm down, McGinnis. What did you call me? She called you McGinnis, as in Terry McGinnis, son of the man whose death I ordered years ago. My body has died, McGinnis. For my mind to live, I need a new one. Yours. And so we're thinking, oh boy, we kind of get that all is lost moment. However, Elainna comes in. Now, I'm going to spoil one thing about this book. I'm not going to give it all away, but remember how I preferenced at the beginning of this book that it says, I just lost my train of thought, where Terry lost his memories to False Face and then died. So basically, Terry's memories died with False Face. Powers wants to take over his body. However, because of Terry's amnesia, the experiment starts to have problems. So Constance has to do something to make this work. And for that, I'm going to leave that kind of obscure because I want you guys to go read this. But this part where Elainna swoops in, hard to do if Lady Frankenstein here is unconscious. And it's just a great little scene. She finally gets Terry, and they go to flee. Now, Terry does have his memories. Again, you have to read the book to find out what happened. But here at the end, we see Powers has lost his chance for a new body. And I love this 1, 2, 3, 4 panels. Help me. It's done. Please. I love over. And then we see Constance die. So be it. If I have to die, I swear by all that's holy, I will take Bruce Wayne with me. And so next is death sentence. And so, guys, this is one of those ones that finally, after starting out with the beginning of the Batwoman First Flight saga, everything finally accumulates in this book. So it's definitely one you need in your collection. So if you've enjoyed what you see, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it's like to get your action figures and comics and pick this up. And if you've enjoyed this review, really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little Beyond bell next upload, that way I can upload content, you guys get notified, come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure the links down in the description. And if you enjoy what I do and you'd like to support the channel, I've left the PayPal link in the description. And if not, I still appreciate you watching this video. Either way, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.